It is currently August 4th, 2023. My name is Zach Seif. My band Crash the Party is playing in Atlantic City tonight. And if you know anything about me or have seen any of my other gig vlogs, which if you haven't seen the others yet, got about 35 episodes up so far. But Atlantic City is one of my favorite cities to play in here in New Jersey, and specifically Caesars. What I love the most about Caesars is the fact that it's the first stage I ever played in Atlantic City. And it's also the last time that Crash the Party will be playing there for the year. Back in 2018, I subbed for my friend's band Audio Riot in Atlantic City, and Caesars was the first stage that I did when I filled in for that run of shows, and it just holds a special place in my heart. I know I've talked about this before, specifically in the Why I Love Performing Live vlog that I did a couple years ago with my old band Evolution X, but this was the first big legitimate stage that I ever played, and it just holds a special place in my heart. So today we're going to talk about what makes a venue a good venue, what makes a show a good show, and why I love what I do. We are finally arriving at Caesars. We're gonna park and unload the gear. We're gonna go pick up dinner at my favorite place in Atlantic City, which is Johnny Rockets, and then we'll meet up with the rest of the band. Boardwalk is always popping this time of year. Over there's the beach bar where I used to play with Evolution X. Valley's Yard is gonna be right over here. On our right, that was the last time I vlogged here in AC, and Caesars is right over there. Just parked in the parking garage, going to check in real quick and then eat my Johnny Rockets that I picked up. But I want to talk about what I think really makes a good gig. There's really three main components. One, the music. Is it music that you enjoy playing and feel a connection to? So we all started playing music for a specific reason, right? So does the gig fulfill that part of the requirement? That's the first thing that I would do. The second factor that I look for is the pay. What does the gig pay? Is it enough to get you excited to get out of your house and go to this venue to play this music? And the third is the hang. What are the people like? Do you enjoy being around them? Can you be in a tour bus with them? Can you share a hotel room with them? Do you guys get along on a personality level? You know, those are all things that you got to consider. So what I mean by those three things that I talked about earlier is if the music is really good, then it's a good gig. If the pay is really good, it's a good gig. And if the hang is good, it's a good gig. But you need to have at least two of those three for it to really be worth it. So if the music's good and the pay is good, but you don't really get along with the people, that's something that you might do a handful of times for fun. But if the chemistry is not there, it's not going to work out. If the music's good and the hang's good, but the pay's not all that great, that's what most original music starts out as. So that's probably something that you're going to want to stick around for. And if the pay is good and the hang is good, but you don't really care too much for the music, think of it as like a stepping stone and see if you can take those people with you to do something else as well. And if a gig has all three, which is what Crash the Party has been and what Evolution X was before that, those are gigs that you hang on to for as long as you can. We got Eric D in the back.
Hey.
Going to room.
Sorry, dyslexia, 651.
This is room 6. So do we go this way still? I think so, maybe. What's the sign say?
685.
All right, cool. So we're going to room 651 because why would Crash the Party ever get a room that's close to the elevator when we have all of our equipment to bring?
Nah.
It doesn't work that way. It doesn't.
Download now.
So just got to the hotel room. We're getting ready. And I figured I'd take the time now to talk about what I think makes this stage a good stage, or what makes a venue a good venue. I think the most important thing is the overall vibe and the comfort of the venue. If the load-in is easy, which here it's relatively easy, we get to park right along the side of the street where the load-in dock is, and it's an easy ramp to go straight to the stage. We don't have to go through a marketplace like we do in Boston. We don't have to walk through the casino floor like we do at Borgata, and it just makes things a lot easier because when we're done, we pack everything up, bring it right down the ramp, and we can bring it straight to our cars if we want to go get them, or we have the option of taking an elevator or escalator up through the casino and go back to the parking deck. The other thing that I think makes this venue a good venue is the quality of the lighting and the sound department. They have union members who run the lights and the sound here, so they're very professional with their job. They're very polite, they're very professional, and if there's a problem, they typically address it rather quickly, which I appreciate. They have extra mics, extra cables, extra amps. They have full back line of everything. Even though we bring our own stuff, we can always use it if we want to, and it helps create a nice, easy, more relaxed work environment than when you have someone who might not really know the room or the system that they're working with, and that can tend to cause issues sometimes. And the last thing that I think makes Caesars a particularly good venue is the crowd. The crowd here is always lively and responsive, and whatever we play here usually works. We can play the rock stuff, the classic rock, the pop punk, the hip hop, rap, R&B, funk, country, it all goes off here. And we always get great responses from the crowds here. We get great interaction between them in between sets, and it overall just gives us, you know, a good time, a good experience for us, because even though we're here to work, we still want to have a good time doing what we enjoy. And if a venue has all those things, then it makes my job a lot easier and it makes me a lot happier. So Eric, in your opinion, what makes a show a good show?
What makes a show a good show? A good show first starts off with, I think, the attitude of the bandmates and everyone. I think everyone being in a good headspace, starting off right, is the number one thing that I think that puts us together to start cohesively. The next thing is just, you know, crowd response, crowd reaction, and even not though, you know, I think there's been shows where there haven't been that many people and we still go just as hard. So I think it really starts with the mindset of the band.
Definitely.
And then also the venue helps, the staff, the stage, the equipment, things like that. The better those are, the easier it is for us to do our jobs, and the better time we have, because we're not fighting against things, we can just go with the flow stuff.
So Jess, in your opinion, what makes a venue a good venue?
That's a great question, Zach.
Thank you.
I would say the staff. And the size of the stage always helps. And the sound. When the sound is good, that's key.
What about the crowd?
Oh, yeah, well, of course. But you know us. It could be 10 people. It could be 10,000 people. We're still going to have a good time.
So what makes this show exciting is that I'm running the show myself, because Danny's not here. Usually he runs an Ableton session from his laptop that goes into his interface and into our inner system and into front of house. But tonight I'm running a Logic session myself, and it should be exciting. I've ran sessions before on stage, it's nothing new, but it's the first time I'm doing it for my own computer with my own setup, so I have total control over it. I have the click and tracks pan, got everything volume matched, and super excited to have one more thing to do on stage.